you to do in those teams, and you could work, the teams were they're behind me, I think. I don't want to turn right now because I'll probably fall off the stage, but the teams are over there. I only had your real names, and so I think most of you can figure out who's who even from your real names here. But if you could just break into this group, and both Jennifer and Danu know what I do. I ask one person to kind of keep the notes, and that person's the quote documenter. If you would keep notes, find a place on the 2 islands that you want to work at, and that would be a little collaborative thing to figure out what's a fun place. Fly around. There's a coffee shop. There's a marshmallow roasting fire someplace. I forget where they are. There's a lot of fun things on this island. Talk to each other. Use your mics. You can chat if you want to as well, but I think the mics make it a whole lot more interactive. But keep in mind that when you are speaking, you can be heard by other people. So I don't know if there are any other classes here right now. So just, I don't think you have to worry, but just realize the sound will carry, so you'll want to move far enough away from each other. And what I'll ask is for you to start thinking of ideas, think outside the box for things you might do for your particular audience. Give suggestions to one another. What kind of an island would you make? Think about some of the parameters. Would you want it open to the public? Would you want it limited to certain people? Are there particular criteria that you'd have in mind? You don't have to get too deep at this point, but just think about some ways you might bring a virtual environment in. Now, some, like colleges, were simulating their campus. And if you look around here, there are some buildings that are like the campus. As a matter of fact, if I can go back to that last slide that I had, have any of you been up to Saratoga and seen the building at 28 Union? Do you know where that is? Okay, so many of you haven't seen the building. If I can find the slide that I just put up, where did I put it? The building is here. If you can zoom in, you see in that top left corner where it says Virtual ESC? It's an old building that the college owns, and they retrofitted the alumni office into it. So if you find that, you will actually find a simulation of one of the really beautiful buildings the college has. Now, I have lots of slide shares and all sorts of resources that can teach you more, so I'm going to aggregate a website because there's not enough time to do it all now, but you will find on this island a number of simulated buildings for the college. So that some colleges are now using simulated islands for recruitment. There are places that are doing like human resource development and training within simulated islands. It's becoming a new way for training. There's anticipated down the road, and this would be interesting for you, Phyllis, that retail is going to have 3D versions. So instead of just going for a website to try on an outfit or to look at a ride-on lawnmower if you're going to buy it from Sears, they're anticipating that people will be able to test things out in 3D environments. Now, they're still a little bit clunky now, but that'll be changing. So you could use it for training. Of course, you could use it for healthcare, things that you don't want. Oh, you've seen the virtual dressing rooms. Yeah, they have also had virtual, lot of modeling of new outfits. There's been a whole lot as we get going, based on your interest. I'll ask you to explore, but anything you can imagine, you can build virtually. Now, building it's only the first step. As I showed you that other schematic, who do you bring there? What are your rules? That's what makes it complicated, but that's what makes it interesting. And so I'm hoping that we'll launch a number of you virtual environments for your own needs that you can integrate in with a Facebook. We're going to be doing Facebook in this course. You can have a Facebook invitation. I have that for my virtual island. You could be using a website to bring people in. So we'll start looking at ways to pull all of the different emerging technologies together. And, emerging just means it's going to be cranky, it'll crash at times, so just be patient. This is not going to work perfectly. You're going to bump into things, you're going to walk into one another, but I'm going to ask you to go off in your groups, and you can certainly intermingle and get some ideas, put them in a PowerPoint, put some pictures in, upload them. It's in the course, and then go in and talk about each other's ideas. Brainstorming is going to be an important part of this course. So it's an open-ended assignment. Don't, get too hung up about doing it perfectly. But do you have questions now before I send you off on your own? Yeah, that would be the same. Yeah, what I found is PowerPoint's an easy way to get people to put in schematics, ideas, without having to do a lot of work. Yeah. We usually hear dogs barking. That's why I asked you all to turn your mics off, because otherwise you pick up all the background noise. Yeah, I'll ask you to your output from your discussion group with the documenter, please put some of the ideas together into a PowerPoint. You'll see in Angel there's a place for this coming week where you'll upload that so that you can do some additional sharing. A real purpose of this course is to just generate a lot of ideas. I can't remember, I have to look ahead, Hattie. I generally send out a blog post, but by the way, too, I am thrilled about reading your reports, which I hope to get to tomorrow. I've had to visit 5 schools this week. I'm a clinical supervisor. I traveled 250 miles today down to Hudson Valley and back to visit schools. I have one more school tomorrow, and then I will finish up getting you the feedback. So what I will ask, are you asking, David, about Second Life specifically, or are you asking about virtual worlds in general? And I'm going to turn my mic off. Why don't you just say that question? Oh, okay, Hattie, yes, you're right. There are 2 different assignments. One assignment, the PowerPoint, is simply to continue this discussion. The other PowerPoint is actually a regular assignment. You're going to do both a PowerPoint and a Prezi so that you can pick up those skills if you don't have them, and you're going to communicate. The PowerPoint from tonight is just brainstorming. Yes, so yeah, the Prezi is different. Have any of you used Prezi before? I hadn't used it until I put that assignment together. People were saying we really should learn it. It was very easy to use. I think it's pretty much in the course. One of the things we're going to be challenging all of you here, the purpose of this course is to give you some theory, but to get you practicing. So you'll be given some instructions, but we'll be asking you to really go into the tutorials that are with all the different products, explore them, and we will be chatting with each other about ideas, but there'll be some tutorials, but I will not be bringing you step by step through all of them. Part of what you're going to be developing here are skills in learning how to approach emerging technologies. Yeah, there is a place in the course for uploading tonight's PowerPoint, and I can't don't have the course open at once or I'll crash the system, but I think it should be pretty clear. And tonight, Danu, you have one PowerPoint for your group that you should be able to upload tonight. That's not a biggie. That's just your brainstorming. Your assignment for the weekend is different. And the assignment is twofold. One of them is to create a PowerPoint to give you some practice, and the other one is to create a Prezi. So those are different from tonight. So I hope I didn't confuse people, but I think when you go into the course, everything is very linear. And I realized from some of your conversations too, usually by the time I have people in my course, they've already been an Angel. And so I think some of you are still learning Angel. So that's an additional challenge, but the way it's set up, the way I set it up is quite linear. So you'll see everything is dated. So hopefully that won't be too confusing. Yeah, so you're learning a lot. Yeah, I'm surprised. And learn Angel to just go in. It's linear. Click on things, open them up. But Angel is actually going away. The college is moving to something different. So don't stress too much over Angel. Email me if you're stuck. I think they're going with Moodle. But I'm glad you guys know different things because I would like you to teach me. An objective here with emerging technology is we're looking beyond the things that are out there and everybody's using. We're going to be helping each other. So tonight is just the beginning of kind of synchronous communication, but I hope that we've planned a lot of spots in the course where you're going to blog your own ideas, you're going to be emailing each other, you're going to be posting, we're going to be sharing your work, and the idea is to share the work is so that you can learn from each other. Trying to get my job to connect. Yeah, I'm hoping you're going to teach us more about Adobe Connect. There's a lot of things. Some of those things, well, actually, Angel costs money. The college rents it. Therefore, we're supposed to have support. Sometimes we don't have the support we'd like, but I think dealing with the frustrations will be a way that you'll be able to anticipate your own future audience. So as you see in the course, you're going to be thinking about who you'll be training someday, who you'll be teaching, who you'll be communicating with. And so all of your frustrations, you'll have a chance to blog them out, but they're important learning. The idea of this whole program is to immerse you in things that are not well defined and to encourage you to be self-learners, to learn from each other. And so email me, but I will soon be sending out all your emails. You can also email each other within the course. And I'm going to ask you now to break into your groups. If you like, you can all join one group, but I think you won't be able to hear each other too well. And so, yep, good old email. Just if you get stuck, email me, and pretty soon I'm going to get the list out of all your emails so you can email each other. This is too emerging for anyone to know it all, and I certainly don't know it all. But I just am willing to try. I've been using technology for over 30 years. I've never taken an official course. I just learn it. It's just amazing the stuff you can do. You're right, Phyllis. This is so cool. And I know Phyllis is someone you're all going to want to talk to and learn a little more about her because she has a lot of talents with visual. And so she'll want their... Yeah, it's good to be in your slippers. Somebody also said, you can have a drink and be at school too. So do have your drinks. I'm going to zip out. I have to get on to another meeting. The problem with virtual now is you can be in meetings all the time. But this time I've got to meet with my son on the West Coast. He's just flown out to the West Coast, and I now have to meet him. I did invite him to the class, but he got a little shy. So, yeah, see if you can, I'll let you scramble around, see if you can figure out who's who. I'm going to zip out. I'll turn my mic off. Just practice this environment, generate some ideas, write them down. This is not a very formal assignment. This is just the kind of the finish up, but keep the ideas going. And I want to thank you all for being here. And in the future, I am not going to be talking so much, I promise. And I want to hear more from you, but I don't want to keep you too much longer. I know it's getting late. But thank you for coming, and I look forward to reading all your reports. I will be getting you feedback before the weekends. I just literally have been all over at schools, and so tomorrow afternoon I'm going to get to be able to do some reading, and I will get back to you soon. But thank you, everybody. Goodbye.